Greetings and welcome back to the garden frequencies that your soul remembers and knows well. When we gather, we are here to remember, re-know, reclaim, and re-embody our integrated Christ-Sophia light of the garden. The Adam and Eve union expressed in our physical body temples and our mind-body-spirit holistic awareness. So let us take a deep, divine, conscious breath in together and remember the light of the sacred garden again. Let us breathe together and know that we are not separate from an elusive garden that we have been told turned its back on us and turned away from us. But rather, we have always been one with the garden, carrying it within us wherever we go, in whatever timeline, in whatever experiences we have journeyed, and where we are presently on the planet and in our consciousness now today. We are the light of the sacred eternal garden that was gifted to us by our beloved divine creator source and our beloved Earth Mother, who know us only as their divine, perfect, and beloved sacred children. So let us take a deep, divine, conscious breath in again for this remembrance code, for this remembrance frequency of light, that we are God and the Great Mother's perfect blueprint of creation, and we are their child, a soul of their sacred union in the grandest of creations. Let us breathe and know we are this light. Yes, we are. Breathe in the knowing of the power, beauty, and magnificence of the sacred light that you are. And let us together breathe in the knowing and the embodiment of this sacred light that we collectively are. We are here in the season of remembrance. Ascension, and this whole ascension decade from 2020 to 2030 is one grand season of divine remembrance. And Eve is here seeding our return to the garden. The garden lives in us. The garden lives in our highest and purest light. It may have been obscured by illusions that the false matrix of a 3D earth have supplanted in us. But God's seed, the garden seed, the seed of God and Gaia's union in pure and perfect creation, lives in you. It lives in me. It lives in all of the souls that originated from God's original divine blueprint in the garden. Your remembrance now in the season of remembrance is an activation that guides your inner map and journey home. So let us take a deep, divine, conscious breath in for that remembrance. That we are garden seeds of the grand Garden of Eden. So we can truly cherish in every single conscious breath our ability to refine and direct our divine attunement and attention back to the garden, while all of the noise, all of the distractions, all of the stress, and all of the patterning that usurped the creation of God has attempted to stamp us with is playing out. That patterning in the face of God's frequency within us, in the face of the true Garden of Eden and our divine garden seed blueprints, can't hold. It carries no truth. It has no power over garden seeds awakening and responding to the summonings of the great Mother Eve and the grand Mother Earth. We are Christ-Sophia garden seeds returning to Eden, the land of Adam and Eve, the sacred garden of Christ-Sophia light in form. We are union. We are that divine wholeness. We are that perfection. And we are safe, welcome, and loved in the garden frequencies now, forever, and always. The 3D matrix is struggling to maintain its composure now. The illusion of 3D reality is deeply challenged to do the very basic of things in true creation, which is to be real. The movie sets and theater stages in the 3D matrix, in their own ways, are crumbling. Fiat currencies that drive the global financial infrastructure and payment pathways are losing purchasing power. Many government and world leaders of countries, and also many in the entertainment industry that people have looked up to, idolized, believed in, trusted, and gave their hard-earned money to, are being exposed for rampant corruption and other toxic crimes. God's true creation, God's true money, God's true blueprint for manifesting a beautiful, pristine, harmonious, sentient earth and humanity is rising. It is outshining the illusions. It is outpacing the darkness's attempts to conceal, deceive, control, and coerce a sleeping humanity. In this much ascension light, humanity cannot sleep any longer. And all sentient life is awakening to the return of the garden. The garden is rising in each and every single one of us. It is felt in your conscious breathing. It is felt in your inner knowing that knows beyond anything that the illusions and noise of the 3D matrix wish to tell you about you and who you are and what this world is. Lies cannot withstand the scrutiny of divine and absolute truth. Deception always falters in the face of God's supreme frequencies of truth. And that is what we are seeing, sensing, and feeling right now. The choice is ours as to whether we will join the dismay, the fear, the overwhelm, and the tension that duality and cognitive dissonance seed in our garden temples, clouding our judgment, vision, and discernment, or whether we will allow the living light of the Christ-Sophia codes within us to know the truth of the garden's return as more gets exposed and crumbles around us that is not of God and never was God's divine design. Along with that choice, we each are facing in every moment now as to what we will empower with our frequency and with our attention. We also face the choice of whether to react or to create. Notice that the very same letters and thus creationary sounds make up those words. So the core sounds in the vibrational commands to the universe, to creation, in those words are the same, but the experience and manifestation of those sounds are two totally different paths and realities. One leads to the garden, one leads back to the dualistic loop of the 3D matrix's games and tricks. So take a deep conscious breath in right here and now, and focus on feeling the frequencies in the word react. How does it make you feel? How does it feel in your mind's eye or in your heart's awareness as you say that word internally or out loud? Is reactivity a frequency that you have experienced? How does that word's energetic essence feel in your body? How do you feel in your life when you react to negative situations or stress? Does it support you to thrive as the divine spirit soul you truly are? Or does it spiral you into lower frequency thoughts and behaviors that often lead to regret, guilt, or shame, which dull the organic shine of God's great garden seeds every time? Now I will invite you to take a deep conscious breath in right here and now and focus on feeling the frequency in the word create. How does it make you feel? How does your body feel this frequency of the word create and creativity? How does your heart feel and know it? Is it an octave that you notice that is markedly different than that of the word react or reactivity? Both words have the exact same building blocks of creationary sound in their letters. But when the letters and thus sounds are ordered in a certain way, they lead to two very different paths. How do you feel in your life when you create in all the situations of your life, whether in joy or inspiration, or even through negativity and stressful triggers? How do you feel the word essence, and specifically the sacred sounds of the word create, in your body, your heart, and your conscious awareness? Do you feel lifted, elevated, and raised up in higher frequency potentials of God's goodness, wholeness, and deep soul alignment when you choose the path of creativity, which breathes life and light into whatever it is you are doing, feeling, and experiencing? What a difference 2 words can make in the life of a divine creative hero. What a difference conscious awareness of the power to choose makes in the life of a divine creative hero. All throughout the world's sacred texts, we are given example after example of duality, starting with male and female, Adam and Eve, good and evil, light and dark, love and hate, etc. Our stories given to us in many sacred texts through many authors through centuries and centuries of time show us again and again the biblical serpent's usurpation of creation and polarity into divisive dualities where one must win and one must lose. Duality and separation and division, etc., may be the weapons of the biblical serpent's version of reality, but unity, wholeness, and oneness are themes of God's grand and true creation. We are here now to awaken to the truth of the grandest of distortions throughout history and throughout time as we know it. For when we awaken to the usurpation of words and literally language, the word, we are given an ancient map to find the essence of illusion in any aspect of our lives, and also to find the essence of absolute truth in any aspect of our lives and life on earth as well. Humanity has a great awakening and a great reawakening unfolding around us and within us. A garden of truth, light, and knowing lives within all of us. We know God's perfect blueprint because we are God's perfect divine blueprint. Yet God's original Garden of Eden was tampered with, and the records of the tampering have been hidden, obscured, altered, and destroyed to wash away the evidence of the absolute truth of God and God's creation in our collective humanity. I believe in this time of revelations, and this time of the Great Awakening, and this time of the Grand Ascension, we are being gifted many opportunities and paths to choose to pull back the curtains on the illusions and to reveal the truth of God within and all around us. The garden never left us. We are that living, timeless garden, each one of us. And Eve is seeding our remembrance. Eve is a divine messenger from God, here to brilliantly, gracefully, and lovingly guide us home to the garden we remember, to the truth we remember, to the knowings we remember. The story of Adam and Eve may not be exactly as we have been taught, just as many aspects of history that we have been given through time may not be exactly as told. Just as many aspects of our current world events may not be exactly as they are or were portrayed or presented. The biblical serpent's, darknesses, occupation, and usurpation of God's true creation is coming to an end. We are in the time of that great closeout, the end of a demonic cycle of time where humanity has largely been kept in the dark about the real agendas and activities of that demonic serpent and its minions. But truth has a way of rising and setting all life free in the clarity and light of God's pure frequencies. The Great Mother is ready to rise again in our lives. The Christ-Sophia light, gnosis, and wholeness within each of us are ready to rise and live in union and divine expression again. Polarity in divine creation works together in harmonious balance for the best and greatest of outcomes for individuals and the collective. Duality in usurped illusions works against opposing forces to seed destruction, fear, division, and confusion for individuals and the collective. Reactivity fuels and feeds the games of duality that the false 3D matrix and paradigm is built upon. Creativity frees us from the 3D matrix and empowers us to manifest and create beyond the confines of linear time, seeding a new world of light for humanity and all sentient life on this world. Noise will increase in the final quarter of 2025. Exposures and disclosures will be amplified. The ancient spiritual battle for the heart and soul of the earth and all life here is rising to be seen and known in the hearts of all in this time of the Great Awakening. Those who choose conscious breathing, union with Source, knowing the garden, and embracing creativity are empowered to create calm and goodness through and beyond the storms unfolding. Those disconnected from their divine skill sets may unconsciously choose or act out reactivity and reactively, for that is the main pattern of duality and emotionality that they know. Ground in what you know. Claim your sovereignty beyond the 3D matrix through conscious breathing and divine source union. Remember how truly loved, appreciated, and protected you are by the Great Mother who knows your heart and your soul and your divine sacred blueprint. You are loved more than you may remember. You are cherished more than you may know. You are free and more divinely powerful than you can yet feel. And yet absolute truth has a way of prevailing and manifesting it as so in times of great awakenings and times of grand ascensions. You are a divine creative hero seeded with Adam and Eve light codes, inspired from within to consciously breathe your Christ-Sophia unified light into your life, your expressions, your choices, your thoughts, behaviors, and actions now as you contribute to your personal and collective experience of the Great Awakening in the time of the Grand Ascension and epic revelations. Will you breathe the light of truth of God's grand garden as a seed of the original creation story and as a creator of the grand creator in these incredible times? September 2025 will summon more garden seeds of light, the knowers of union and unified light, and the daughters and sons of Adam and Eve to embody and ground in your perfectly blueprinted light and life force as more shakeups of the old 3D matrix and false stories and histories come to light, and as more truth comes to light as well. A great reckoning is unfolding. What will you choose to empower and embody as storms of revelations and activations of truth with a capital T emerge? Creativity is God's essence in you, reminding you of all that you are, all that you know, and all that you came to be in these times. For creative souls create with Eve, create Eve. Creatives, unite with the Great Mother's energy to lead with light and seed what is good and holy in the world again. I am honored to create and seed the light with you in these times. Remember that together we rise.